Friday, April 17th, 2020. How's everybody staying sane during quarantine? As you can tell, I have yet to resort to giving myself a haircut. I have been doing a lot of projects around the house. I have been working in the yard, and I've been working on a few collectibles projects that had been stacking up on me. I haven't done one about Ghostbusters yet, though. So let's talk a little bit about some things that I have amassed in recent months. Some of these may be as old as last year that I might have talked about before, but anyway, they're all sort of lumped together here. Christopher Holt on Facebook helped me locate a seller that had the T-shaped belt buckle from Louis Tully's belt in his outfit that he wears to the classic party. This was like $5 or something if all you wanted was the buckle. So I said, yeah, I got to get one of those. I didn't get the belt because I thought, there's no telling when I would consider myself thin enough to do a decent Louis Tully cosplay. It might happen someday. I am actually losing weight during quarantine. But chances are I would be heavier when I finally get around to doing something like that. So I thought, well, I don't know what size belt I'm gonna need in the far distant future where I complete such an outfit. So I'll wait and buy the belt at the time to scale. So, all right. This, we can talk about that one later. This one I think I've actually covered before because it's already been opened, but these are some Max Factory labels and things. Pretty sure I did a video about these because these are the ones for the Proton Pack. And then also in the big box here, we're going to see some more stuff from Max Factory. And put that back away for now. I love his envelopes and everything. So, all right. Now these are some parts that Glenn Fredrick helped me to find out about. I'll cover those in just a second as well. And did I talk about this hinge plate before? I don't know if I did a video about it. One thing I never liked on my trap from a couple of summers ago was the hinge for the pedal. And someone was saying they had used a piano hinge, that it was the correct number of hinge pieces and the correct diameters, and all you had to do was cut off as much as you needed and drill the holes. So I bought one of these for, I don't know, a few bucks on a piano website. I don't even remember where it was. So that's on the horizon as well. Now in this box marked Phantasm Trap, which you may remember stands for Patrick Hurd, Alex Newborn Traps Are Simply Marvelous, because this trap was previously owned by a guy named Patrick Hurd, and I have been adding my own trim pieces that I'd collected for many years, replacing the resin pieces that he had on it, and doing a couple of other tweaks to it. Now there's the 2-in-1 holster, which I have yet to attach the strap, but that's actually some of the pieces from one I got from GB Fans, and some of the pieces from the one that Patrick had made. So everything about the trap was sort of a hybrid like that. Now here's another Max Factory item. I don't know if you're going to be able to see white on white with my camera at the moment, but these are the rub down transfers for the Ghost Trap. And that was one of the things that I disliked about my trap when I did it, was unbeknownst to me in storage, my rub down transfers had gotten damp. And so they were not able to be used correctly, and I had to piece together some of the missing lines by cutting up other rub-down transfers from that set from GB Fans. So the plan is to, it looks okay at a glance, but I know that it's flawed. So the plan is to disassemble this, strip the paint off of that metal Hammond box, repaint it, and put a correct rub-down transfer from Aaron Mack on there. And then the pedal should hopefully be done, and I think it still lights up. I checked it recently. Well, there we go. So its batteries are good inside there. I won't have to remove any screws at the moment to get that working. Now let's look at the body of the trap itself. There's the cord. Here we go. So at the moment, this was as far as I ever got on it. A couple of these little pieces were just sticky taped on at the moment. They're probably, hopefully, in the box. We'll look for them in just a second. Let's check the battery. Battery is good on it, and I noticed there are some spare batteries down at the bottom of the box. So wooden body and then Patrick had a lot of resin pieces on there that I replaced with legit pieces, but then I didn't have these metal rods and I didn't have the metal handle, and he did have those on his. So the two projects, as I've said many times, kind of went together like a hand in a glove, and he had machined these parts up front. But let's get back to that package from Glenn Fredrick. Before I do that, let me look in here and see if my knobs, yeah, there they are. These, what was that? Okay. Those must be more rub down transfers from Aaron. Okay. And more side knobs. More of these things. ITT relays. So this is like every spare part. There's the alternate screw that allows the cartridge to be removable. There are some batteries, and there's a disc that I cut but wound up not using. Okay, so these were the little slider knobs that go on the front there. Glenn Fredrick had provided these a while back, and I didn't figure out a way to permanently attach them, so I just had them on there with double-sided tape. All right, and then not too long ago, I was in my parents' attic and found an old box of stuff, and lo and behold, I mean, it was like decorations from my bedroom as a kid, and there was this knob in there, and I think it was just loose. I think this might have come off the intercom system in my parents' house from the 70s. Now, it's a different shape than these that Glenn had provided, but I thought that was kind of neat anyway, so I wanted to put it with all my other trap-related stuff. Now, backing up, and let me get back to this package from in here. Wrong one. And look, the trap just messed up. So see, it knew that its hinge was going to get replaced. It just pulled free of the way that I had it attached there. So, all right. Now, these parts in here were ones that Glenn told me about from a seller on Etsy a few weeks ago, and it is knobs for the front of a trap. He said, you've already got the slider knobs, but you might be interested in the other knobs in there. And the seller's name is GB, Ghostbusters, HQ, headquarters, Parts Depot, GBHQ Parts Depot, Etsy.com. So, Jamestown, New York. All right, let's see about these little pieces inside of here. All right, there's the black knob. I don't know how visible that is. Come on, focus, baby. There we go. And it's just a cylinder with little details to it there. And what's going to come out next? Silver knob. All right. Focus. Now, these are going to be a lot easier to attach because they've got the set screws in their side. So all I have to do is get a shaft going on there, and they will stay on a lot easier. And then some more knobs like this. Now, these look different from the ones that Glenn had provided slightly. So yeah, I've got a lot of choices now on what I want to do with these slider knobs up front, because those appear to be a different size slightly and shape. And they have a ridge on the bottom side, and they've got a white stripe going down the sides that his did not have. Okay, so I got options now for how I want to do the front plate of the trap. I just got to figure out the best way to attach these knobs. They need like a rectangular shaft on the inside, see, like that? And then same for the one that Glenn had sent. So, but like I say, these guys are going to be a lot easier to attach than these little pieces right here. Matter of fact, these want to come out a little too easily all the time anyway, parts that Patrick had. And now all I've got to do is put a shaft in there and boom, attach that via set screw and Allen wrench. So, all right. Progress, progress, progress. Slow though it may be, I enjoy making the occasional progress on these projects. All right. Oh, one more box here. One more box. This is from GB Fans. Now, there were options for where to get one of these, and I really debated, and it came down to who had it in stock first and who had it cheaper. But I went with one of these because the day that I saw Brandon open his new pack from Vinny and saw this on his, and it was a GB Fans one, I was like, oh man, that is so gorgeous.
Look at this, gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, I want one of those so bad for mine. But then nobody had them in stock for a while, so I even investigated this option. Somebody told me that down at the bottom of this rice cooker was a piece that could be used as a metal bellows, but it was only like that tall, so it wasn't actually usable. And I thought, oh, I didn't need to spend the money on this, but at the beginning of quarantine, I bought a 3-pound bag of rice and took that thing out of its box, and we've been using it.
Let me hope that this one is as gorgeous as the one on Brandon's pack, because mine is just a piece of painted resin that Vinny gave me, and it was not quite perfection there. All right, so got a metal bellows. Seems a little rusty. Maybe I can take a scouring pad to that and shine it up a little bit.
So I got this all shined up with just a scouring pad, not a metal scouring pad, and some 3-in-1 oil. And I thought, well, I'll go ahead and test fit it on there. So let's remove the resin one that Vinny sent me so long ago. Just takes a second. Now this is a rigid casting. And he said, well, I've got an oblong one that I'm not going to be able to use if you want it, when I was getting the shell from him. I said, yeah, sure. So this has given me many years of good service, but how long is this shaft? That's what she said. But anyway, so as you can see, it doesn't compress or anything, and it's got some mold lines to it that I cleaned up as best I could, and then I just spray painted it silver a long time ago. All right, let's hope for the best. I think it's threading. So a screw that I put in 2012 fits my new metal bumper that I bought in 2019. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm catching up to you, Brandon.